Chosen on God says, your wealth will arrive in 10 minutes. Do not ignore this blessing. Listen, chosen one, the air around you is crackling with divine electricity, and your spirit is trembling because heaven has just issued an urgent decree. This is not another moment in your endless scroll, not another fleeting distraction in a noisy world. This is a divine interruption, a sacred summons from the throne room of God Himself. Picture a radiant scroll unfurling in the heavens, your name etched in golden letters, glowing with the promise of abundance. 10 minutes from now, everything could shift. Your financial freedom, your prosperous life, your divine provision. It's not a distant dream. It's knocking at your door, and the clock is ticking. Will you answer? Or will you let this moment slip into eternity, never to return? You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. No, heaven hunted you down. While billions sleep through their ordinary lives, God has pressed pause on the chaos of this world to speak directly to you. Feel that stirring in your chest? That's not anxiety, it's awakening. That's the Holy Spirit whispering that your season of lack, of closed doors, of watching others prosper while you struggle, is about to end. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Did you hear that? God's plan is to prosper you, to usher you into a life of overflowing blessings, and that plan is unfolding right now. But let's be real for a moment. You've been here before, haven't you? You've prayed for a breakthrough, believed for divine provision, only to face another bill, another rejection, another sleepless night wondering if God forgot your name. You've watched others step into their abundance while you're still scraping by, feeling invisible, wondering if prosperity is just for the lucky ones. I see you, chosen one. I see the weight you've carried, the tears you've cried in secret, the dreams you've buried under layers of disappointment. But here's the truth that will set you free. Every struggle, every delay, every closed door wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God wasn't ignoring you, He was forging you. You weren't forgotten, you are being positioned for a wealth so profound, it will echo through generations. This video unveils a unique truth. The fear of never having enough is the very key to unlocking your greatest breakthrough. That anxiety you feel about money, that knot in your stomach when the bills pile up, it's not a sign of failure. It's a divine signal that you're on the cusp of a spiritual awakening, a moment where your faith journey transforms into a testimony of divine purpose. Picture yourself standing before a magnificent door, carved from celestial gold, your name shimmering in light. This door doesn't lead to temporary riches or fleeting success. It opens to a prosperous life where wealth creation flows like a river, where financial freedom becomes your reality, and where your divine provision changes not just your life, but the lives of those around you. But why now? Why this moment? Because heaven operates on divine timing, and your window of opportunity is open. But it won't stay open forever. Isaiah 55:6 warns, "Seek the Lord while He may be found. Call on Him while He is near." That while is your 10-minute countdown. This isn't about hype or exaggeration, it's about activation. God is saying, chosen one, your wealth is ready, your breakthrough is here, but you must act. The enemy wants you to believe you have forever to respond, that another chance will come. That's a lie. Noah had one window to build the ark. Esther had one moment to approach the king. You have this moment, right now, to step into the abundance God has prepared. Let me share a story to make this real. Meet James, a single father from Atlanta, who was drowning in debt just 6 months ago. He worked 2 jobs, barely making ends meet, praying nightly for a breakthrough. One evening, he stumbled across a message like this one, urging him to act on his faith. Instead of scrolling past, he paused. He felt that same stirring you're feeling now. James decided to take a small step. He wrote down one goal: to start a side business he'd been dreaming of for years. Within a week, a co-worker connected him with a client who needed exactly what James could offer. Today, James's business is thriving, his debts are shrinking, and he's saving for his daughter's future. His story isn't verified, but it's relatable. It's the kind of divine provision that happens when you dare to move in faith. If this message is stirring your soul, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks below. Your generosity helps us spread the light of divine provision to more chosen ones, awakening them to their prosperous lives. Whether you give or simply receive, know that your presence here is ordained, but don't just listen, act. Comment, "I am claiming my wealth" in the comments below to declare your faith to heaven, and join a community of believers stepping into their destiny. Your declaration seals this moment, chosen one, and connects you to thousands of others on their faith journey. Now, let's address the fear that's whispering in your ear. You're thinking, what if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm not ready? What if I fail? That fear isn't your voice, it's the enemy's. 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear is a liar, and it's been keeping you small, convincing you that abundance is for others, that financial freedom is out of reach. But here's the divine truth. Your fear is proof you're close to your breakthrough. Every giant in Scripture felt fear, but they acted anyway. David trembled before Goliath, but he slung the stone. Peter's knees shook on the water, but he stepped out. Your fear isn't a stop sign. It's a green light to your destiny. So, what's holding you back? Maybe it's the lie that you're not worthy, that your past mistakes disqualify you from God's plan. Let me remind you of Moses, a murderer who led a nation; David, an adulterer who became a king; Rahab, a prostitute who became a hero of faith. Your past doesn't define you. God's promise does. Or maybe it's the fear of success, the whisper that says, "What if I can't handle the responsibility of wealth?" Chosen one, God doesn't call you to carry what He hasn't equipped you for. Philippians 4:13 declares, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Your wealth isn't just for you. It's for your family, your community, the generations after you. It's time to stop apologizing for your divine purpose and start walking in it. Here's where this gets practical. To step into this 10-minute blessing, you need to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. I'm giving you 3 specific steps to align yourself with God's promise of prosperity. First, write down one financial goal for this week. It could be saving $50, 0 cents, applying for a job, or starting a side hustle. Be specific, like James was with his business idea. Second, reach out to someone who can help you move forward. A mentor, a friend, or even a stranger who succeeded where you want to go. Make that call or send that message today. Third, dedicate 10 minutes tonight to pray boldly for your breakthrough, claiming Psalm 23:5, "You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." These steps aren't magic, they're movement. The kind of faith that unlocks divine provision. Imagine this. You're standing in a vast desert, the ground cracked and dry from years of lack. But beneath your feet, a spring of abundance is waiting to burst forth. Every step you take in faith, writing that goal, making that call, praying that prayer, cracks the ground a little more until the waters of prosperity flood your life. This isn't just about money, it's about personal transformation. about becoming the chosen one who walks in authority, who shifts atmospheres, who breaks generational curses of poverty. Your wealth is a tool for God's glory, a testimony of His faithfulness. But what if you hesitate? What if you let these 10 minutes pass? Revelation 3:8 says, "I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut." That door is open now, but it won't stay open forever. Remember the 5 foolish virgins who missed their moment because they weren't ready. Don't let that be your story. Every second you delay, the enemy gains ground, whispering lies that your breakthrough is too big, too far, too impossible. But God specializes in the impossible. He turned water into wine, fed thousands with a few loaves, and raised the dead. Your financial freedom is child's play to Him. Let me share another story. Sarah, a teacher from Chicago, felt trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. She prayed for years, but nothing changed, until she heard a message like this one. She took a leap of faith, using her evenings to start an online tutoring service. Within a month, she had her first 5 students. Today, Sarah's tutoring business supports her family, and she's helping other teachers do the same. Her story isn't verified, but it's real to someone out there. Someone like you, who's one decision away from a prosperous life. You're not just listening to words, you're standing at a crossroads. On one side is the familiar wilderness of lack, where fear and doubt keep you stuck. On the other side is the promised land of abundance, where your divine purpose unfolds, where wealth creation becomes your reality, and where your faith journey becomes a legacy. Joshua 24:15 challenges, "Choose this day whom you will serve. Will you serve fear, or will you serve faith? Will you cling to excuses, or will you claim your blessing?" The clock is ticking, chosen one. These 10 minutes are your divine moment, your spiritual awakening, your chance to step into the overflowing blessings God has stored up for you. Picture that golden door again, your name glowing brighter now, the sound of opportunity pounding louder. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be present. You don't need to be ready, you need to be willing. Your wealth, your breakthrough, your prosperous life, it's not coming someday, it's here now, waiting for you to say yes. But what if the fear you're facing is the very doorway to your divine provision? What if the doubts holding you back are the final test before your greatest testimony? The next 10 minutes could rewrite your story, chosen one, but only if you move. Keep listening, because what's coming next will show you exactly how to walk through that door and claim the wealth God has promised. Let's talk about that fear again, because it's the phantom guard standing between you and your destiny. It's whispering lies, telling you that wealth is for others, that financial freedom is a fantasy, that your past mistakes make you unworthy of God's plan. But chosen one, those lies are crumbling under the weight of God's truth. Psalm 34:4 declares, "I sought the Lord, and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears." Your fear isn't a wall. It's a veil, thin and fragile, ready to tear the moment you take a step in faith. This video is about overcoming that fear, transforming it into the fuel for your greatest breakthrough. Every time you've felt afraid, you were standing at the edge of something holy, something life-changing. Today, that fear is your invitation to step into abundance. Imagine a river, wide and deep, flowing with prosperity, divine provision, and overflowing blessings. On one bank you stand, clutching your doubts, your worries, your reasons why not. On the other bank is the prosperous life God promised. A life where wealth creation isn't a struggle, but a natural outflow of your divine purpose. The only way across is a bridge called faith, and it's built with the 3 steps I shared earlier: writing down one financial goal, reaching out to someone who can help, and praying boldly for 10 minutes tonight. These steps aren't just tasks, they're your declaration to heaven that you're ready to cross over, ready to leave lack behind and embrace the abundance God has prepared. Let's make this even more real. Think about Maria, a nurse from Dallas, who felt stuck in a job that barely paid her bills. She dreamed of opening a small clinic to serve her community, but dismissed it as impossible. One night she heard a message like this, urging her to act on her faith. Maria took a small step. She wrote down her goal to start the clinic within a year. The next day, she called a colleague who introduced her to a local grant program. Within 3 months, Maria secured funding, and today her clinic serves dozens of families. Her story isn't verified, but it's a mirror for you. Proof that one act of faith can unlock doors you never imagined. Your wealth isn't locked away in some distant vault. It's waiting for you to move, to align with God's timing. You might be thinking, but what if I've tried before and failed? Chosen one, failure isn't the end of your story, it's the setup for your comeback. Look at Joseph, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. Every door slammed shut, every dream seemed crushed. But Genesis 50:20 reveals the truth. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Your setbacks were divine detours, redirecting you to this moment, this door, this 10-minute window where everything can change. Your past failures weren't proof you're unworthy. They were proof you're unstoppable, because you're still here, still believing, still listening. Now, let's talk about what's on the other side of this door. It's not just money, though financial freedom is part of it. It's a life of purpose, where your wealth becomes a tool to bless others, to build schools, to feed the hungry, to break generational curses of poverty. Imagine walking into a room and knowing your presence shifts the atmosphere, because you carry the authority of someone who's walked through God's open door. Imagine your children growing up in a legacy of abundance, not lack, because you dared to claim this blessing. That's the prosperous life God has for you, a life where personal transformation meets divine provision, where your faith journey becomes a beacon for others. But here's the urgency. This door has a timer, and it's counting down. Revelation 3:20 says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in." God is knocking, chosen one, but he won't force his way in. You have to open the door, and these 10 minutes are your moment to respond. Don't be like Lot's wife, who looked back and lost everything. Don't be like the foolish virgins, who missed their moment because they weren't ready. Be like Esther, who stepped forward in faith, knowing her destiny hung in the balance. Your wealth, your breakthrough, your divine purpose, they're all waiting, but they require your yes. Let's pause for a moment to connect with the community of chosen ones watching this. If this message is igniting your spirit, type, "I am crossing over to abundance" in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words, it's a spiritual act, sealing your commitment to step through this door. Look at the comments pouring in from people just like you, standing at their own thresholds, claiming their prosperous lives. You're not alone, chosen one. You are part of a holy remnant, a family bound by divine purpose, cheering you on as you take this step. Now, let's address the practical side again, because faith without action is dead. Those 3 steps. Writing a financial goal, reaching out to someone, praying boldly, are your roadmap. Don't overcomplicate it. If your goal is to pay off a $500 0-cent debt, write it down. If you need guidance, call that friend who's been where you want to go. If you're seeking breakthrough, pray Psalm 23:5 tonight. claiming your overflowing cup. These steps are simple, but they're powerful because they align your actions with God's promise. James 2:17 reminds us, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Your faith is alive when you move, when you act, when you trust God's timing over your fears. Imagine this scene. You're in a vast hall lined with mirrors reflecting every version of you that fear tried to create. The broke you, the doubting you, the defeated you. But at the end of the hall stands that golden door, and beyond it, a mirror that reflects the real you, the chosen one, the prosperous one, the one who walks in divine provision. Every step you take toward that door shatters the false mirrors until only the truth remains. That's what this moment is. Your chance to shatter the lies and step into your true identity, your divine purpose, your prosperous life. But what if you're still unsure? What if you're waiting for a sign? Chosen one, this message is your sign. The stirring in your spirit, the racing of your heart, the tears in your eyes, those are heaven's confirmation. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You don't need to see the money in your bank account to believe it's coming. You don't need to hold the job offer to know it's on its way. You need faith, the kind that moves mountains, the kind that opens doors, the kind that claims your wealth. In these 10 minutes, let me share one more story to inspire you. David, a mechanic from Phoenix, was laid off last year. His savings drained, his hope fading. He stumbled across a video like this, urging him to act on his faith. David wrote down a goal to start a mobile repair service. He called an old client who referred him to a local business needing fleet maintenance. Within 2 months, David's service was booked solid, and he's now hiring his first employee. His story isn't verified, but it's a spark for someone watching, someone like you, who's one step away from their own breakthrough. You're not here by accident, chosen one. Heaven orchestrated this moment because you're ready, not perfect, but ready. Your wealth isn't a fantasy, it's a promise, sealed in the courts of heaven, waiting for your faith to unlock it. Those 10 minutes are almost up, but the door is still open, the knock is still sounding, the promise is still yours. Will you claim it, or will you let it pass? The choice is yours, but the stakes are eternal. What if the next step you take changes not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you? What if these 10 minutes are the hinge on which your entire destiny swings? Keep listening, chosen one, because we're about to uncover the secret to turning your fear into the key that unlocks your wealth. Let's dive deeper into the truth that's unfolding. You've felt the weight of lack, the sting of closed doors, the ache of watching others prosper while you wait. But chosen one, every moment of struggle was a divine setup, not a setback. God wasn't punishing you, He was preparing you. Every bill that stretched your faith, every night you prayed through tears, every dream you thought died, it was all forging you into a vessel ready for overflowing blessing. Romans 8:28 declares, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Your hardships weren't random, they were refining you for a prosperous life, shaping you to carry the wealth God is about to release. This video is unique because it unveils how your deepest fears, fear of lack, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, are not chains but keys to your greatest breakthrough. That anxiety you feel when you check your bank account, that hesitation when you dream of starting something new, it's not a sign you're unworthy. It's a signal you're on the verge of a divine purpose so powerful it terrifies the enemy. Picture a vast ocean, its waves crashing with the promise of abundance. You're standing on the shore, holding a key shaped from every fear you've faced. That key fits the golden door before you, and beyond it lies a life of financial freedom, where wealth creation flows naturally, where your divine provision becomes a river that blesses generations. Let's make this practical again, because faith without action is like a seed unplanted. I gave you 3 steps earlier. Write down one financial goal, reach out to someone who can help, and pray boldly for 10 minutes tonight, claiming Psalm 23:5. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. These steps are your bridge to the other side, where lack gives way to abundance. Don't overthink them. If your goal is to save $100.00 this month, write it down. If you need guidance, send that email to a mentor today. If you're seeking breakthrough, pray with expectation, believing God's promise. These actions align your heart with heaven's plan, turning your faith journey into a testimony of personal transformation. Let me share another story to light your path. Consider Emily, a barista from Seattle, who felt trapped in a cycle of minimum wage jobs. She dreamed of opening a coffee shop that served her community, but fear of failure kept her stuck. One evening, a message like this stirred her spirit. She took a small step. She wrote down her goal to launch her shop within a year. The next week, she called a friend who connected her with a local business owner willing to mentor her. Within 6 months, Emily secured a small loan, and today her coffee shop is a community hub employing 5 people. Her story isn't verified, but it's a spark for you, chosen one. Proof that one act of faith can unlock doors to prosperity. You might be wondering, why me? Why now? Because God chose you before the foundation of the world. Ephesians 1:4 says, He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight. You're not here by accident. You're here by divine appointment. Your struggles weren't meant to break you. They were meant to build you. Every closed door was God saying, not that one. I have something better. Every delay was Him teaching you to trust His timing. And now, in these 10 minutes, His timing is perfect. Your wealth, your breakthrough, your prosperous life. It's not a distant hope. It's a present reality waiting for you to claim it. But let's confront the enemy's last stand. Doubt. That voice whispering, this sounds too good to be true, or God's promises don't apply to me. Doubt is the enemy's final weapon, designed to keep you from stepping through that door. But listen to God's truth in Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Your doubt doesn't disqualify you. It's a test of your faith. Every hero of Scripture faced doubt. Abraham doubted when promised a son in his old age. Moses doubted when called to lead Israel. Yet they acted and God moved. Your doubt is real, but your faith is stronger. Imagine standing in a grand hall. The walls lined with portraits of every version of you that fear and doubt tried to paint. The broke you, the hopeless you, the defeated you. But at the end of the hall, that golden door shines brighter, and beyond it, a portrait of the real you. The chosen one, the prosperous one, the one who walks in divine provision. Every step you take toward that door shatters the false portraits until only your true identity remains. That's what these 10 minutes are. Your chance to rewrite your story, to step into the abundance God has promised. If this message is setting your spirit ablaze, join the community of chosen ones by typing, I am walking into my prosperity, in the comments below. Your declaration is a spiritual act connecting you to thousands of others who are claiming their divine purpose. Look at the comments. See the faith rising, the breakthroughs beginning. You're not alone, chosen one. You're part of a holy movement, a remnant rising to claim their prosperous life. Now, let's talk about what's at stake. This isn't just about your bank account, it's about your legacy. Your wealth is a tool for God's glory, a means to bless your family, your community, the world. Imagine funding a scholarship for a child who can't afford school, or supporting a ministry that feeds the hungry, or breaking the curse of poverty in your bloodline. That's the power of the wealth God is releasing. But this door, this moment, has a timer. Revelation 3:8 reminds us, "I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut." That door is open now, but it won't wait forever. Don't let fear or doubt make you miss it. Let's revisit those 3 steps because they're your roadmap to crossing over. First, write down that financial goal. Make it clear, like paying off a debt or starting a business. Second, reach out to someone who can guide you, a friend, a mentor, a colleague. Third, pray boldly tonight, claiming your overflowing cup. These steps are simple but powerful because they move you from wishing to walking, from hoping to having. James 2:26 says, "As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead." Your faith comes alive when you act, when you trust God's promise over your circumstances. Picture this. You're in a desert, the ground parched from years of lack. But beneath you, a spring of abundance is ready to burst forth. Every step you take, writing that goal, making that call, praying that prayer, cracks the earth until the waters of prosperity flood your life. This isn't just about money. It's about becoming the person God created you to be, a vessel of divine provision, a beacon of hope for others. Your breakthrough isn't just for you, it's for the generations waiting on your obedience. But what if you hesitate? What if you wait for a better time? Chosen one, there's no better time than now. The 10 minutes are almost gone, but the door is still open, the promise is still yours. Esther didn't wait for perfect conditions to approach the king. David didn't wait for Goliath to shrink. You don't need to wait for fear to vanish or doubt to disappear. You need to act, to step, to claim the wealth God has promised. Your prosperous life is on the other side of that door. And the only thing stopping you is the lie that you're not enough. What if the next move you make is the one that changes everything? What if these final moments are the spark that ignites your divine purpose? Keep listening, chosen one, because we're about to uncover the secret to turning your faith into the key that unlocks your abundance forever. Let's lean into the truth that's unfolding. You've carried burdens others couldn't see, bills that kept you awake, dreams that felt out of reach, moments when you wondered if God's plan included you. But, chosen one, every struggle was a divine forging, not a divine forgetting. Your pain wasn't pointless, it was preparation. Every closed door, every rejection, every tear was shaping you into a vessel capable of holding the abundance God is releasing. Psalm 35 proclaims, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Your night of lack is ending, and the morning of your prosperous life is dawning. This moment, these 10 minutes, are your sunrise. This video is distinct because it reveals how your fear of lack is not a barrier, but a bridge to your greatest breakthrough. That knot in your stomach when you think about money, that hesitation when you dream of financial freedom, it's not a sign you're failing. It's a holy signal that you're standing at the edge of your divine purpose. Picture a vast canyon, its depths filled with the shadows of doubt and fear. On the other side lies a land flowing with prosperity, where wealth creation is your reality, where divine provision overflows. The bridge across is built from your faith, and the 3 steps I shared, writing a financial goal, reaching out to someone, praying boldly for 10 minutes, are the planks that make it strong. These steps aren't just actions. They're your declaration to heaven that you're ready to cross over. Let's ground this in a story that feels close to home. Meet Daniel, a carpenter from Denver who was laid off during a tough season. With a family to feed, he felt the weight of failure crushing his dreams. One night, a message like this stirred his spirit. Daniel took a small step. He wrote down a goal to start his own woodworking business. The next day, he called an old client who needed custom furniture for a new office. Within a month, Daniel had steady orders, and today his business supports his family and employs 2 others. His story isn't verified, but it's real for someone watching. Someone like you, who's one act of faith away from unlocking divine provision. You might be thinking, but what if I'm too broken to receive this blessing? Chosen one, your brokenness is your qualification. The alabaster box had to be shattered to anoint Jesus. Your cracks are where God's light shines through. Look at Rahab, a prostitute who became a hero of faith. Peter, who denied Christ, yet led his church. Paul, a persecutor who wrote half the New Testament. Your past doesn't disqualify you, it authenticates you. Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Your weakness is where God's strength takes over, where your prosperous life begins. Let's talk about what's waiting beyond that door. It's not just financial freedom, though that's coming. It's a life of impact, where your wealth becomes a tool to shift atmospheres, to fund dreams, to break generational curses. Imagine paying off your parents' mortgage, or starting a community center, or tithing so generously that your church can feed the hungry. That's the power of the abundance God is releasing. Your wealth isn't about greed, it's about glory. God's glory shining through your personal transformation, your faith journey, your divine purpose. But the urgency is real. These 10 minutes are almost up and the door won't stay open forever. Jesus said in John 9:4, "As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work." Your day is now, your moment is here. Don't be like the Israelites who circled the wilderness for 40 years because they saw giants instead of God's promise. Don't let fear make you miss your promised land. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, praying boldly, are your map. They're simple, but they're sacred, because they align your actions with heaven's timing. If this message is setting your heart on fire, join the remnant by typing, "I am claiming my divine wealth" in the comments below. Your declaration is a spiritual stake in the ground, connecting you to thousands of chosen ones who are stepping into their prosperity. Scroll through the comments, see the faith rising, the breakthroughs unfolding. You're not alone, chosen one. You're part of a holy army, marching toward abundance, united by divine purpose. Let's address the lie that's trying to hold you back. The lie that you need to be perfect to receive this blessing. Chosen one, God doesn't call the perfect, He perfects the called. You don't need a flawless resume or a full bank account. You need faith, the kind that moves mountains, the kind that opens doors. Hebrews 11:6 says, "Without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." Your reward is here, your wealth is ready, but it requires your earnest seeking, your bold action. Imagine this. You're in a dark room, the walls closing in with the weight of lack and fear. But in the center stands that golden door, its light piercing the darkness, revealing a path to prosperity. Every step you take, writing that goal, making that call, praying that prayer, widens the door until the room is flooded with the light of divine provision. This isn't just about money, It's about becoming the person God created you to be, a beacon of hope, a vessel of abundance, a legacy of faith. But what if you wait? What if you let these 10 minutes slip away? The parable of the 10 virgins haunts us. 5 were ready, 5 were not. When the bridegroom came, the door shut forever. Don't let that be your story. Your wealth, your breakthrough, your prosperous life, they're not coming someday, they're here, now, waiting for your yes. Those 3 steps are your key, your bridge, your act of obedience. Don't complicate it. Write that goal, make that call, pray that prayer. Faith moves when you move. Let me share one more story to spark your courage. Lisa, a graphic designer from Miami, was stuck in a dead-end job, her creativity stifled, her finances strained. A message like this challenged her to act. She wrote down a goal to launch her own design studio. She reached out to a former client who needed branding for a startup. Within 3 months, Lisa's studio was thriving, and she's now mentoring young designers. The story isn't verified, but it's a mirror for you, proof that one step in faith can unlock a prosperous life. You're standing at a crossroads, chosen one. One path leads back to the wilderness of lack, where fear and doubt reign. The other leads through that golden door to a land of abundance, where your divine purpose unfolds, where wealth creation becomes your reality. Joshua 1:9 commands, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Your courage is your key, your faith is your fuel, your action is your answer. What if the next step you take is the one that shatters every barrier? What if these final seconds are the spark that ignites your divine provision? Keep listening, chosen one, because we're about to uncover the secret to making your faith unstoppable, turning your fear into the fire that fuels your wealth. Let's anchor ourselves in the truth one last time. Every struggle you've faced, every unpaid bill, every sleepless night, every dream that seemed to crumble wasn't a sign of God's absence. It was a sign of His presence, forging you in the fire of preparation. Your pain was purposeful. Your delays divine. Your tears collected in heaven's bottle. Psalm 126, 5-6, promises. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. They who go out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. Your tears were seeds, planted in the soil of faith, and now the harvest of your prosperous life is ready. This door, this moment, is your reaping season, where wealth creation, financial freedom, and divine provision become your reality. This video has been unique because it's shown you that your fear of lack isn't a chain. It's a key, unlocking the door to your divine purpose. That anxiety when you check your bank account, that hesitation when you dream of abundance, it's not a sign you're unworthy, it's a holy nudge, a signal that you're standing at the edge of a breakthrough that will change not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Picture a vast field, once barren, now bursting with golden grain, ripe for harvest. That's your life, chosen one. The 3 steps I gave you, writing a financial goal, reaching out to someone, praying boldly for 10 minutes, are the sickle in your hand, ready to gather the abundance God has promised. Let's make this tangible with one final story. Meet Rachel, a single mother from Charlotte, who was drowning in medical debt after her son's illness. She prayed for years, feeling forgotten, until a message like this sparked her faith. Rachel wrote down a goal to clear her debt within a year. She called a financial advisor from her church, who helped her create a budget and find a side job teaching online. That night, she prayed Psalm 23:5, claiming her overflowing cup. Within 6 months, Rachel paid off half her debt, and today she's debt-free, saving for her son's college. Her story isn't verified, but it's a mirror for you. Proof that one act of faith can shift your story from lack to abundance. Now let's address the final lie the enemy is whispering. You're not ready. Chosen one, readiness is a myth. God doesn't call the ready. He equips the willing. Look at Moses, stuttering yet leading a nation. David, a shepherd boy who slew a giant. Esther, an orphan who saved her people. Your lack of readiness is exactly where God's power shines. Corinthians 1:27 says, God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Your weaknesses are His canvas, your fears, His opportunity, your faith, His masterpiece. You're ready because He's ready, and these 10 minutes are your moment to prove it. What's waiting beyond this door? It's more than money. It's a legacy. Your wealth is a tool to break generational curses, to fund dreams, to bless the world. Imagine opening a business that employs your community, or tithing so generously that your church builds a shelter, or teaching your children the power of faith over fear. That's the prosperous life God has for you, a life where personal transformation meets divine provision, where your faith journey becomes a beacon for others. But this door has a timer and it's ticking down. Revelation 3:20 declares, Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. The knock is loud, the door is open, but you must step through. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, praying boldly, are your final act of obedience. Don't overthink them. If your goal is to save $200, 0 cents, write it now. If you need guidance, text that mentor today. If you're seeking breakthrough, pray tonight with expectation, claiming your overflowing cup. These steps are simple but sacred, because they align your actions with God's promise. James 2:22 says, You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. Your faith is complete when you move, when you act, when you trust God's timing. Picture this one last time. You're in a grand cathedral, its walls echoing with the prayers of your ancestors. In the center stands that golden door, its light blinding, your name blazing like a star. Every step you take, writing that goal, making that call, praying that prayer, shakes the ground, until the cathedral fills with the sound of chains breaking, curses shattering, and abundance flowing. This is your moment, chosen one. Your wealth isn't a dream, it's a decree, sealed in heaven, waiting for your faith to unlock it. If this message has set your spirit ablaze, join the Holy Remnant by typing, I am stepping into my abundance in the comments below. Your declaration is a spiritual act, uniting you with thousands of chosen ones claiming their divine purpose. Scroll through the comments, see the faith rising, the breakthroughs unfolding. You're not alone. You're part of a movement, a family bound by God's promise of prosperity. Now, as we close, let's seal this moment with a prayer. Place your hand on your heart, feel its rhythm, heaven's pulse beating in you. Heavenly Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus, the name above all names. I lift up every chosen one watching, every heart trembling with hope, every spirit ready to step into abundance. Break every chain of lack, shatter every curse of poverty, silence every lie of fear. Father, we claim the wealth you've promised, the divine provision you've prepared, the prosperous life you've decreed. Let every financial door swing wide, every opportunity multiply, every dream resurrect. We declare no more delays, no more barriers, no more doubts. The season of waiting is over. The season of breakthrough begins now. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Chosen one, this is your crossing over moment. The door is open, the prayer is released, the promise is yours. Don't hesitate, don't look back, step through. Share this video now. Someone in your circle is standing at their own door, needing this spark to ignite their faith. Type, "I am stepping into my abundance" in the comments to seal your commitment. If this message has stirred your soul, consider supporting our mission through super thanks below. Your generosity spreads the light of divine provision to more chosen ones. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to stay connected to this community of faith, where we'll walk with you, pray with you, and celebrate your prosperous life. Thank you for staying through this divine appointment. Your attention is an act of spiritual warfare, a declaration that you're ready for God's best. The door is open, your destiny is calling, and heaven is cheering. Step through, chosen one. Your greatest chapter begins now.